talking me.
All right, and welcome back to another episode of the We Love Gaming podcast. And today is a great day with some small news. But before we get into it, fellas, what you guys been playing this weekend? Mark?
So I've pretty much still been playing Among Us.
Okay.
You play that thing like crazy.
So I've been, trying to throw some groups together. So if you guys want to join our Discord, we always have a couple spots open. So we'd love to have you join in. But that's pretty much it, man. I haven't been playing as much Destiny, even though the DLC dropped on Game Pass. I haven't been playing it that much. Just pretty much Among Us. What about you, Godly?
Well, you guys been playing like every Friday and Saturday, or
We've
what?
pretty much been playing every Friday night and Saturday night around 9:30 Pacific Standard Time.
Okay. Are you guys streaming it at all?
No, we're not streaming it.
You guys streaming, man.
I agree with you, but because people might have the temptation to peek at it, I don't know.
You
It's
still
just,
gotta take the
I
risk,
think it'll
right?
be okay.
I don't know,
You
I
gotta take
don't
the
know,
risk,
I don't
man.
know.
I'll take that L if I'm the
Yeah.
imposter. And if I'm not the imposter, then they know, he's
That's
not
true,
the imposter.
that's
You
true.
know? So
your
don't throw me out.
Yeah.
Your alibi will always
Yeah, it'll always be solid. Dude, check the stream,
like check
man.
my
I'm
stream,
good.
man. Check my stream.
Yeah,
Just 80% of the time, right?
right.
Like, haven't you guys figured that game out yet, man?
No.
No?
It's still crafty, man. Like,
Yeah?
yeah.
It seems so shallow in that sense to me. Like eventually you would just figure it out. Kind of like what we did with like Deception in Hong Kong, Murder in Hong Kong.
Oh, you're talking about with like the pieces and
board
stuff
game?
like that? Yeah.
Yeah,
But it wasn't.
But this is even less shallow than that. I mean, like that at least has hundreds and hundreds of cards that change up every time.
Mhm.
But also just the dynamics of the game. Like you start figuring out like the tells, like the way people kill each other. Like there's only so many really ways to do it. Like it just seems like it doesn't have a lot of depth that you could keep playing it for like months on end kind of thing.
It's just because like like when you're doing tasks, there's no special thing when you're doing a task. So it doesn't like there's no glow of you or like you pull out a map or anything like that. It's literally you're just standing there. So you can stand by all of the stuff that you've ever stood by to fake like you're doing a task. I mean, there are some I think that Mark's been able to figure out like if you are actually doing a task and you complete it, the completion bar will move slightly. So if that person's been sitting there for a while and the completion bar doesn't move, you could probably
that's what I'm talking
tell.
about
But
though. Like you start getting
it's
all
very-
the tells. The
it's very
tells
new.
start to kind of like become glaring. Like once you figure out the camera system, you're gonna like never ever go kill someone. Where all the cameras are at. Once you figure out the log system, once you figure out the progress bar system, like you're just gonna end up like I think it just starts to lose its luster. I think.
yeah, the progress bar, there's a little cheat with that because like if everybody's playing it, like if you're standing by an area that could so-called be where you're supposed to be doing a task or whatever, like the completion bar is gonna move. It's not gonna really matter until towards like the end when there's only a couple people left and your completion bar doesn't move when you're standing there. But for the most part, when you start standing in different places, the completion bar is moving because of everybody else's tasks. So you can kind of like
You can fake
still
it.
fudge it. Yeah. For a
right when it
while.
moves, you can move. Like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, the art of lying, dude. Like,
Yeah, I think
as
that's
long
the
as you can
fun part.
lie pretty good and give like a reasonable explanation of why you were doing what you were doing, then you're kind of okay. But RNG
Yeah, I've
does
never
take
really
effect,
enjoyed
but-
doing that. That's not
Deception.
fun being a liar, but I do know like it's a super popular game, and I like it watching it to a degree, but I would not like enjoy playing it. I don't think.
You should try it with us one day.
Yeah.
Check it out. But since you have been playing Among Us, what have you been playing?
Well, I've playing a little bit more COD. COD Black
Okay.
Ops 4.
All
Trying to
right.
get better at that. I finally found a build that was pretty solid. Where I can't remember the name of the gun. I don't even know if Mark would know it. VMP or something like that. It's an assault rifle,
Oh, okay.
and you unlock the suppressor like really early, like level 2 on that gun, like level 2 or 3.
Okay.
And then I got a long barrel on it, so basically you offset your range drop off because you lose some of the range distance when you put a suppressor on it.
Right.
But then I put the long barrel on there, so you kind of offset that. And then I just went total stealth. I got like cold blooded, ninja stalker, I think in this one or something like that, and ghost. So like became almost easy mode. I went from like a trash
but deadly.
player to like 3KD almost every game, like
Really?
that quick.
Okay.
Like it almost felt like cheating.
Mhm.
And so once I started playing those games with that setup, like I was just kind of like slaying every round, and I was just like, dang man, like this is crazy. And so I was getting a little burnt out on that, just slaying every round. And so and I was like, but I can't play the other classes, so there isn't a whole lot for me to do here, because if I try another class without this, setup, I'm gonna get wrecked, like I was getting wrecked,
Yeah.
So I was like, I was getting a little bit burnt out, so I switched on to I told y'all I bought that Mario 3D All Stars pack.
Yeah.
So I got that, and so I fired that up.
You got the physical copy?
Yeah, the physical copy, of
Okay.
course. And then I was enjoying Mario 64. Like that translates really well, and it looks pretty darn good. Like that was a very solid transfer to the Switch. And I played Sunshine. Sunshine as well, and that one was cool, but I can't invert the stick.
Oh, I forgot you're
Dude, so I got totally screwed on that game, because I guess supposedly originally Sunshine, the stick came inverted naturally in the game.
Okay.
Like when it originally launched on the GameCube,
Mhm.
it was inverted. And so that would have been dope for me, because that's how I play. I play inverted. And then they switched it back to like default in this remastered version, and there's no option to switch it to inverted. There is no way to switch it. So it was like so wonky and so like unusual for me to play. Like I just kind of stopped. Like I stopped playing Sunshine, So the next game I'm gonna try is Galaxy, but so far I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm unique in this situation where I always play my games with inverted Y-axis, And
There's
so
a couple of weirdos out in this world.
yeah, there are a few weirdos, like me out there, but but so it's kind of I kind of had the same problem with the samurai game you love, Neo.
Okay.
Remember when I was telling you about it? I'm like, dude, I
Yeah.
can't get these controls, and because I was
But that's
because
you're so used to Dark Souls controls, yeah.
But it's kind of like the same thing where I gotta like reteach my mind, rebuild muscle memory on how to play these games, and I just didn't feel like doing it for Sunshine. Like, and plus, I'm so used to playing one way. I don't want to switch the way I play up on all the games. Like if I muscle memory myself to play default, then that's gonna affect like every game that I play now.
I don't think you're gonna like. I don't think your muscle memory will kick in. Like you'd have to do that for like all of your games. Switch them to that. You know what I mean? Like I think
maybe
as
it
long
would
as you have
revert.
that
Maybe
option,
it'd revert.
you'll
Like
go back.
once I played back to another game that was inverted, it'd revert. I don't know, but it would be a while before I got used to playing default.
I mean, it's a shame if you pay like a whole, $40 for one part of that game or whatever, and you don't get to enjoy it just because of the way it's.
Yeah, I'm cool though,
going.
because I'm gonna have the physical copy, so I can easily flip this thing, with no effort at all.
Just
but
resell it.
But the game I wanted to play most was Galaxy, so I'm definitely gonna give that one a shot and see what that one's all about. But 64 was fine. Like I really enjoyed in Mario 64, even though I've kind of already played it.
Mm-hmm.
It was really great. It translated really well. It's very smooth. It's wonderful.
You beat it?
I never beat it all the way. The original.
Yeah, me neither.
But I got pretty far in that one. I put quite a bit of hours in
But I'm
that
saying,
game.
like, did you beat this one for the Switch?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm probably like
Because what's probably like
fifth or sixth of the way through it.
it's a good size game.
Yeah, you gotta get like 70 something stars, right?
Yeah.
I have like maybe 10 or so.
So it'd be a while then.
Yeah, I picked
So
up a
it's like,
copy as well.
I played like 10 levels, Played it for a little good minute, a couple hours, few hours. I was enjoying it. But then I was like, I want to switch to these newer games. So I hopped on Sunshine. It looked really good. It looked really, really good.
Yeah.
Like I can easily see this. This could have easily passed as a Switch game. Like I was telling my buddy Ishmael. Shout out to Ishmael. What's up, man? If you're listening still.
You better be.
You better be listening. But like imagine like kind of, picture a reality in which like Sunshine or N64 had never been created.
Right.
And then let's say some indie studio or Nintendo created that game today. Like what would they charge for it? Like they would charge even for N64. I think of like an indie let's say N64 had never been developed and some indie studio made an N64 like game. He would get $30 for that kind of game easily on the Switch, maybe even more. And Sunshine would be a full price game, especially Galaxy, because these games look really darn good. Even by today's Switch standards, because Switch is not that hip on graphics. So these games look really solid, and they play like current gen
Mhm.
Switch games, not N60, not 64, but the two more
Yeah.
recent ones, Sunshine and Galaxy, play like current Switch games, and so I feel like it's plenty worth the money for these games, unless you're an inverted player like me, then you kind of get screwed on Sunshine. But,
Side note: do you think that they're really working on a Pro? Switch
dude,
Pro?
man, I don't know.
I keep seeing those
I don't
rumors
buy
popping
it,
up.
man. I don't buy it. But yeah, I mean, there are lots of rumors about it.
I just don't know if they're actually gonna try to create a console that's gonna try to compete with like next gen.
That's where I'm at.
but-
I don't see them even getting close. So why bother?
Yeah, and if anything, if they did, right, like if they tried to stick in the handheld world and then go with the Switch again, like Switch 2 or something Pro or something, like it's gotta at least be high grade, like a cell phone now, like it has
Right.
to.
At least that.
If you're gonna try to compete with
And that's
what the
pricey.
consoles are dropping,
Yeah.
because
And that's
you
pricey.
got XCloud, you got Stadia, all these other ones, and they go off of the phone. So if you ain't giving me the quality that I'm getting off of an XCloud on my phone, then you can keep that. Like I'm not, you know
no,
what I mean?
totally.
Like,
Yeah.
like I'm saying, like if you're trying to give me a higher end, don't just call it the Pro and then you just like
I would like to
made the water mechanics and Paper Mario like throughout all the games. That I mean that's not what I want. I want it to be able to play like PlayStation, Xbox
Never
type of
gonna
games
happen.
yeah.
on a handheld. Like that would be the perfect thing. I don't
Yeah.
know why they won't just
Never gonna
jump off.
happen.
Yeah, what I see them doing is creating a different like a revision and maybe adding 1080p to the handheld mode. That's pretty much the extreme we
That's
will
the
get.
Pro.
That's
the
what I'm thinking. The Pro will have 1080p
1080p
handheld and maybe a nicer, bigger screen. Maybe.
That'd be kind of ill, though, 1080p.
A bigger screen would be dope.
Yeah.
Like I think that'd be cool.
What would be nice is if like what happened to modular, man? You remember like a couple years back, like modular was the thing that it looked like people were trying to lean to. Like they had like Google phones or not Google phones, but like Android phones that had like modular pieces to be able to put in and kind of like upgrade your phone.
Mm.
But I guess it didn't really like buzz like the way they wanted it to, because all the other ones they still got staples. People just want to stick with those. But why couldn't you have like a Switch that had modular pieces so that you could spend like an extra $300-$400 to get you that high grade type of quality in a video game, and that the
That's
games are
kinda
actually
cool.
able to produce it like that, but they'll dumb it down if you got like the weak ass version.
There probably just wasn't a market for it. That's
Yeah.
probably why that fell off. That's a cool idea. There's probably just wasn't. They probably didn't maybe advertise it well enough. Who knows? But it fell by the wayside.
Yeah, I know
But-
they had like crazy modular like cameras and stuff like that, like full double decker things, like
Jeez.
to try to like make your phone like a professional camera.
Yeah.
Like pieces that you could pull off and then add like a ginormous friggin' battery pack to be doing like that. It was like a thing for like some brand. I forgot it was. It was like a semi mainstream, brand, but
Sounds cool.
yeah, but they just did it like the one time, and I guess it didn't go off because I didn't see anything else.
Yeah,
about
I've
it.
never even heard of that.
Dude, because things like that, I'm like, the accessories are expensive. You might as well just buy a separate camera if you're gonna buy all these pieces.
Yeah, for
know?
sure. But I mean, it's like it's probably like convenience.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I'm
see that.
saying? Like if you have to spend $600 on like a Canon or like a Sony camera, and then on top of that, they give you like an okay lens in the box, but you got to probably buy like 2 or 3 more lenses to get kind of like the look or the distance shot that you want. So that's like another $200-$300 for each lens when you already have like $1,000 phone. So hey, buy this modular piece for $200. Boom, bow. Now you can shoot aircraft pilots while they're flying or
I'd
something
be
like
curious
that
to
from
see the
ground.
quality of
Yeah.
those modular pieces versus a real one.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
you're like a digital from like it's going from like a
Yeah,
digital.
it's definitely
phone.
probably going to be like
Yeah.
a digital enhancement
Right.
instead of like a real lens
right.
type
So
of
like a
enhancement,
real
but
increase. Yeah, exactly.
Some of those things were beefy though. Like some of those things was pretty crazy.
I mean, let me ask you this: do we even still consider the Switch a console, or is it a handheld now?
I haven't looked at Nintendo as like an actual console type of unit since what was it? I mean, since like what was the last one, like GameCube?
The
I
Wii
mean,
U?
the Wii,
The
the
Wii?
Wii. The Wii, yeah.
The
The
Wii?
Wii was a stationary joint. I mean, the
Yeah.
Wii U, you could still kind of like low key walk around with it.
Well, because you had that big old
Yeah, the
tablet,
big screen,
old
which was
controller
the
with the
whatever.
screen.
controller,
You
yeah.
play on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was kind of like it seemed like it was more mobile. You know,
I
what
think
mean?
the last
But,
time Nintendo was competing in the console war was the GameCube, though.
yeah, that was like a legit.
Because the
a
Wii was
legit
like
console.
a console, but it was no longer like in the realm of like
They switched it to like niche or whatever. You know what I mean? By going,
it
like,
became
with
a
the
lot more
wireless
niche
and
with
all that
like
stuff.
the Wii Sports and the Wii stuff with the cons, you know,
Right.
the Wii controllers.
But it
Yeah.
still at least had backwards compatibility. It played GameCube games. It had GameCube ports.
Yeah,
So I would say it was
I'm just saying that's
was
probably
inching
the
away.
transition
was
point
inching
away
away.
from competing with the console war. Because the GameCube was right on par with like the PS2
Yeah.
and the Xbox as far as
was.
graphics goes.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was competitive, right? It wasn't maybe quite as good, but it was definitely competitive.
Mhm.
But they weren't even competitive with the Wii. And I think they realized that like they don't need to be competitive, you know, with those consoles, you know,
Yeah.
to sell games. They just
It
have
was at
fun
least
games.
it was at least innovative.
The only
I felt
reason
like
why
it was trying to be innovative.
yeah, they were definitely being innovative for sure. They've always been innovative. Even the Switch is innovative.
Yeah,
To be able to
yeah.
Oh,
click,
heck
you
yeah,
know,
dude.
and pull it
Yeah.
off and go. That
Right.
was the dopest thing when I saw that, which
Yeah.
is why I got the light, which is what I wanted because
Yeah.
I always want to play on the go.
Right, but I
But-
just wanted the OG just so that I can actually like if
I
it's
get
called
it.
the Switch,
Play
I
on the
want
screen.
it to be able
Yeah,
to switch
there
it.
are some games that I've wanted to play on a bigger screen that I played on my Switch that I
Right.
wish were on a bigger
and
screen.
I probably have maybe used the actual docking system like maybe 10 times out of
Yeah.
like the or two that I've had it for. But I still like just having the option,
Yeah.
you know, to be able to like, oh, if I want to go ahead and, you know, put it on the TV and let the kids do like the little
Yeah.
jump rope game that's for free
Definitely.
or something like that to tire them out, like go for it. Do
I was
it.
playing Breath of the Wild and I really wanted the bigger screen.
Oh yeah, Breath
Like
of the Wild
it's
on the
still
screen is
super
nice.
enjoyable,
Right.
you know, on the handheld, but I really wanted to play on my bigger screen so bad.
Right.
But I only also mention it because we got the Xbox Series S, and wasn't Microsoft calling the Xbox Series S the smallest console in the world or something like that?
Well, they say
Or were they just saying the smallest console they ever made? Because if
think
it's the
they
smallest
s-
console ever,
It's not.
the Switch is,
Yeah.
right? The Switch is clearly the smallest console ever made,
Right.
right?
And you still got to include like the cube, how like tiny the cube was.
Yeah, but the Switch is smaller than that.
Yeah.
The Switch is a freaking screen.
right. But
you
even if
know?
you like, even if you wanted
That's
to put
true.
that in the category of like the Game Boys and stuff
Yeah,
like
the
that,
cube,
and
the cube is
still
definitely
tiny,
smaller.
but-
But we haven't physically seen the S. It does look dang tiny though. But the Switch right now, currently,
the
is the
Wii-
smallest console.
The
dude.
Wii was tiny as hell.
The Wii
I'm
was
pretty
tiny,
sure the
too.
Wii is smaller than the Xbox Series S.
Now those might be comparable, maybe. I don't know. Those
Dude.
might
I
be
think
similar.
the
That
Wii
is
was
tiny.
tiny,
The
bro.
Wii
I got
was
a,
tiny.
I got a
yeah.
Wii in the closet. If anybody ever does get that whack well, sorry, not whack, but that really underwhelming S console, the digital version, then we can put it side by side.
Anyways, what you playing, Marcus?
Yeah, so I've been playing some Among Us. With
Okay,
Mark.
you
I've
actually
been
tried
joining
it,
in the
huh?
Group. Yeah, we played
Okay.
it at least like two or three nights. We've played it, and I had real good fun. I had some in my opinion, I had some epic kills, some finessing that I thought was like really fun. And you know, it was interesting to play. It's always fun to play with the fellas and stuff. And then on top of that, I've been into Destiny 2. So I've been trying to do all the stuff that I haven't even touched. There's like a lot of recapping that I'm seeing in it, you know, from things that I've done, and they just tried to like make a different way for you to go back and check out some of the old stuff that they were doing and deal with like their old bosses and stuff. But I feel like I'm kind of like running through them fairly quick. It seems like a sword is like really OP'd
Yeah.
right
Sword
now.
is
Yeah,
really
I'm
good.
just waiting to get like, you know, past that 1,000 threshold so that I can start getting like more exotics and different things dropping for me. But yeah, I'm kind of like at 985 right now, so I'm like right there, you know, to hit that 1,000 so that I can start playing in the actual ballpark of what they're offering right
Right.
now. But yeah, that's my goal is to be able to start the DLC once it comes out in like November, mid-November or whatever, and then be able to start playing the new content. So I'm just running through that. And I'm having fun with it, you know. It's cool to see like some of the other stuff. Like it's kind of trippy because it's like areas that I'm going to, and they're kind of like introduced in different ways. You know, like the Shadow Keep, like it just pretty much is like a blockage over the moon. So I didn't remember that it was the moon.
Right.
So when I'm here, I'm like, dude, this place looks familiar as hell. And then when I looked at the map, I'm like, oh shit, this is the moon. Yeah, I remember that.
Right.
But there's a lot of stuff that's changed about it. And I'm actually really enjoying the moon right now because of the way that they have the patrols and the different hunting missions and stuff that are out there, because they have like these little ghosts of like old what do they call them, the guardians, old guardians that are just like floating around, and you'll run to them, and then because they'll have like a little star above their head, or one of those patrol things, but they talk. And then they tell you a little like scenario of what's going on and what you got to do. It's not the what's the small thing that's always floating with you. I forgot what the hell it is.
Yeah, I know you're talking about a little robot
The
guy.
ghost.
The
The
ghost,
ghost, yeah. So it's not the ghost that's just always telling you what's going on, or just getting like comms from like horror or something like that or whatever. So it's interesting to do that, and then your character actually talks in a little part in the
that
main
I've
one.
seen.
So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, that's different, because I'm always used to him being a mute.
Yeah.
And so to hear a voice applied with the character, it makes it kind of like, like I'm watching something and fulfilling some stuff or whatever. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, so just been playing that, and then, Among Us whenever the guys get on or whatnot. So been enjoying that. So yeah, have you guys checked out the news of the COD reveal for zombies?
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah, what'd you
Sure
guys think of that?
Yeah.
I
Go ahead, Mark.
I thought it was incredible.
Okay.
So the trailer is short, but it's nice and short and sweet. So the trailer starts and you're kind of in this interior area. So I don't know if this trailer showed us 2 maps or just an extension of one super large map.
Okay.
But the first trailer I watched, it said that it was played on a PlayStation. So
Okay.
I do like when they show trailers that are actually on
systems.
a game system hardware, because you get a good real world, hey, this is what you should expect. So the textures look really good. There's hordes of zombies. I hope this was in game, because it looked like, for how many creatures were on the screen, it played buttery smooth, no lag. One of the main features that I liked that I saw was, if you notice, when they were getting swarmed on the outside of the map, they called in a chopper gunner.
Yeah.
And on the previous games, there was no
couldn't
real
do any
kill
calls.
streaks like that. There was additional abilities and things you can do, but there wasn't really anything that they took from the normal game and they brought over.
It was just pure like outlasting. That's it. Just
Yeah.
like swarms.
So you got different abilities, different guns, but there was never really, you also saw that little turret gun in the trailer. So I think that's new as well.
Okay.
I don't remember that from any of the previous games. So I do like some of those, new things. I like that the zombie dog looking creature that was raining
An
out.
enemy type. Yeah.
That was really cool. But overall, just the graphics looked really good. I like that scene when they're running out by the tank, when they're getting outside. So I'm not sure if this is just one huge map that has, interior areas and, outside areas. But I think this is just, one big area. But overall, it looked really good. And I'm, pretty pumped. To me, this is like the cherry on top. I'm going to get COD for all the, different modes. But I always like Black Ops for the zombies. It's just so fun to just play with your friends. It's just a mindless mode, You don't have to worry about, getting, like, sometimes in Call of Duty, for me, because I don't want to get destroyed, I actually try a little bit. I just can't turn off my brain and play. But zombies, it's just a turn off your brain and
just enjoy.
Just enjoy. You don't have to think, So
Right.
I always loved zombies.
That's cool. Yeah. How'd you feel about it, Ray?
Dude, man, this game, it looks really good. Like, it almost looks like a game in and of itself. Like, it looks pretty in depth. Like, I can see someone making a game and this just be it. But you're getting the multiplayer, you're getting zombies, and you're getting that campaign. Like, and then also they announced that they're going to be giving free content, map contents, and free DLC content post-launch for free.
That's cool.
In zombies.
Whoa.
So that's the first time they've ever done that. And so I'm thinking, is that our $10? Right? Like, is that our additional $10?
Wait, explain that further. So
Post-launch content. They're giving
So
us
they're
some
just
more.
gonna give you some more map updates.
Yeah,
maybe
they're giving
new
some more
guns or
maps and
powers or
free
something?
DLC content post launch. So you get all the stuff at launch, and then post launch they start bringing out more DLC.
So is that for the life of this Black Ops? Are all the
Well, it was just for zombies.
is all the zombies content going to be free?
I don't think it all will be. They're gonna have some link with like the battle pass and stuff, but they're gonna give some initial post content free DLC,
Got you.
which they don't usually do.
No, they don't.
DLC
It's
is always paid.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a big deal, and I was thinking to myself, is it okay? So that's cool. They're letting us know
nice
we're
of them.
getting something that we never got before. Is that where the extra, where I'm getting my extra $10 at?
Nah, I gotta ask you guys because I haven't played COD like in a while, so I haven't touched zombies. But how many maps do you get like off top?
So generally, it's one map, and then each additional map is kind of like a big DLC pack.
Okay.
And you buy it.
And it's strictly for zombies,
It's
or it's
strictly
like
for
when you have
zombies.
like a new DLC with maps in the multiplayer.
It's
they give you
strictly
that
a
too.
zombie pack that you buy.
Oh, okay. So they were literally like nickel and diming you when you played it off top. The last previous years.
Mhm.
Okay,
Which
so
I think
guess
is
this
cool. I
interesting.
mean, because you need more maps, man, with these modes.
Yeah, you get a little
that's one
tired
of
of
the funnest
it.
parts.
At least 2 to start with.
Yeah.
To
Yeah,
switch it up.
it's one of the, so you are getting that now. So like
Okay.
that's cool. And yeah, in the trailer when they showed some of the in-game footage, it looked sick. That 4K 60 frames per second like really makes the stuff pop. Like the graphics really pop when you see it, at that high res and those high frame rates. Man, it looks really, really good. There's some other cool things that I was really happy about. There isn't just an endless mode anymore, right? There's actually a way to escape.
Okay.
So like once you get to a point that you think you can't go any further, you can call in a chopper, and then you have to go like a little bit longer.
But
It gets
actually
extra
vacate.
hairy when that happens, but you can actually escape.
Okay.
You can actually end it and escape, which I think is cool. Like I wish there was like a tower system, where you go up to
Levels?
levels, or like tower 100. There's actually a mode that ends and an endless mode. I don't want there only to be one way, just endless, only endless. I want to feel like I'm progressing somehow. And with endless, you're never going to have that feeling because you never will end. So there's no way to feel like you're progressing towards an ultimate goal.
Did they ever market it like with rounds, like round 4, round 12?
Yeah,
round
it is
36?
in rounds. It is in
Okay.
rounds, but it's endless rounds.
Okay.
You just go until you die. So the
Yeah.
only way to escape was death. The only way to end the game was death. That's the only
Okay.
way. It's not like you get to a point, you beat the boss, yeah, we did it, and like you finish something. The only way to end it was to die.
So the only prestige you can have then is saying, "Hey, I made
it
like
to this many
54
rounds,
or
right? That
something
was the
like
whole
that.
point.
Okay.
So now there actually is a way to escape other than death, which that excites me. And then also they made every gun cross mode. So whatever upgrades you get in multiplayer or the campaign carry over to zombies now.
Okay. They're
So you
trying to
don't-
make sure you play like the whole damn game.
Yeah,
Like,
so
they're
and no
trying
matter what you
everything.
do in any mode, it carries over to all the other modes, right? So you can carry over your favorite gun from let's
Your
say multiplayer,
attachments.
to zombies and use it. And then you can also continue to upgrade it like in zombie mode and make it OP. Like you
Okay.
can make your starting gun as OP as all the other guns that you find on the map.
Nice.
All the the special guns you find on, like that massive,
Yeah.
energy ball shooter that they showed in the game. Like you can make your gun super dope OP and it becomes like powerful. That's all new too.
Mhm.
So there's some really cool things that they're doing, with the zombies that like I'm pretty darn excited about.
Yeah.
And makes me think like this is like a game in and of itself, and we're getting the campaign and we're getting the multiplayer. Like this is really becoming worth,
That $10 is
$70.
stretching now, huh?
That's $10 is stretching. Yeah. They're letting us know. They're finding creative ways to give us things to make us feel comfortable paying that extra $10.
Yeah.
So,
So my only question is, it's like, okay, so it was normally like $10 on previous CODs for like an extra zombie level pack, right? So they just tell you that, hey, we're gonna give you like free content, or it's just one free content, and it's like,
I think
okay,
it's just one time.
so you prepaid for the next
first.
zombie DLC pack essentially, or what? Because it's kind of like, okay, is it really a deal, or
They didn't have to
or
do that,
not,
though.
But I mean,
They could have
you're
charged
gonna,
you 70 and then charged you another 10 for the next content pack.
well,
You see
yeah,
what I'm saying?
but
So they're giving
just
you
saying,
something
right. But I'm just saying,
for
like,
that 10.
like they could have had it at 60, and giving it to you at 60, but they're like, nah, we're just gonna solidify, make it 70, but we'll give them that DLC thing. So pretty much you gotta buy my DLC pack. It's for certain in order to play the whole game and enjoy it. But I don't know. That's just
Yeah,
probably,
that's
it's probably
half,
not
that's
like
a half
it,
glass
but
way of looking at it.
yeah, probably.
Half empty way of looking at
Yeah.
it, you know.
But you get something, so that's why I'm happy.
Yeah, that's what
like at least your
I'm more
money
like a half,
went
you know, half-
somewhere.
Yeah.
At least you found out what you paid.
Yeah, you're
with
getting
that 10.
something.
You're getting something.
Because
whether-
I'm
they
sure
would've
there'll
cha-
be a lot. That
I was
you're kinda
expecting
wondering.
70 for nothing new.
Yeah.
Just you want the next gen version, it's $70. Sorry, but they found a way to like compensate you at least. So I
You
look
get
at it as a
something.
compensation. You look at it as a scam.
No, I don't look
Not
at
a
it as
scam.
an
I
scam.
know,
I
but
just
you
look
know,
at
like,
it as like
extortion.
I know exactly what I'm paying
They're
for.
extorting
you
Where
$10.
I had the option
Yeah.
to spend the extra 10. Now I'm forced to spend the extra 10, but at least I know what the extra 10 is on. It's for that extra zombies DLC pack. As far as we know, I mean, there's probably like a whole slew of other things. They could have done some other stuff, whatever. But I'm saying
Yeah.
this is what I can tangibly put next to it. Is that I didn't
Right,
get this
that's my
before,
point.
now I get
That's
this.
my point. It's a
With my
tangible
10.
thing we can point to.
Yeah.
One thing though that I want to say is this is gonna be the first time, final freaking Lee. So before zombies was never cross play at all. Whatever system you're
Mhm.
on, that's all you can play with. Now I know people who play zombies on all different systems, PC. So with the Call of Duty's new, you have to integrate your Activision account in the game, and you can see all your friends cross
Okay.
platform. This is gonna make zombies even better because now you can play with anybody.
You can play
You
with
know?
Xbox?
You can play with Xbox,
Yeah,
PC,
it's all cross.
whoever.
cross-
Because once you make your Activision account, you have an Activision friends list. So then I
Yeah.
can invite people. If I'm on Xbox and someone's playing on PC, I can invite them over. So that just even adds. I love when games do that. And
Yeah, that makes it even more so like it doesn't matter what system you bought it for. You could just play. I mean, I kind of wish that Destiny would follow that
That's
suit.
in the
I mean,
works.
it's nice that like, okay, if I've got an Xbox, I've got it on Game Pass, and once I've connected the account, I can just slide back from whatever.
My
but
question is
it
though,
shouldn't even have to do that.
if I turn that on, like let's say I'm playing on PS5 and you're playing on Xbox, hypothetical. Does that, and let's say we go into multiplayer, does that mean since I have that on, so me and you can play, we're playing against PC guys now?
For what mode?
Like let's say
For like
multiplayer.
multiplayer.
So if
So in order for me and you to play, do we have to also let every other cross console play, or do they let you pick and choose which cross platforms you want to play with?
I
it's
know if
either-
I'm playing
all or-
console,
all or
I wouldn't
nothing?
want to play against PC.
it's all or nothing.
Yeah, see that's what frustrates me, man. Like it's fine for zombies, right? Because we don't have to play against
Yeah.
some
They might keep it
PC
for
hacker,
zombies. They
so,
might have kept it for
so
zombies.
I'm mainly speaking on behalf of Warzones because that's what I played completely cross-platform on. I don't know if it does input-based matchmaking for multiplayer. I don't know if it does all controllers and then all keyboard and mouse. So I'm gonna have to get some clarification. If you know, post it in the comments below. But on Warzones, if you're on a controller, you turn it on and you're playing with I'm on PlayStation, you're on Xbox. Now we're playing with PC.
Yeah,
It doesn't
that
matter.
bothers me.
So that is rough, but at least we could play together. I would say at least there's an option. Hopefully they refine it in the future because it's not fair.
Yeah, I mean, like at
But-
least we could, I guess. But why couldn't I like pick the platforms? Like, who do you want to cross-platform with? And I got like Xbox or
It's probably because it'd be too much coding that they don't want to do
Luna
to
or
try to
something. You know what I
bottleneck
mean?
it.
Like,
Yeah, but I think it's more on the
Luna.
input.
Oh yeah.
I think it's the input side is what matters because on the Xbox you can plug in your keyboard and mouse, and so
that's true. Yeah, clearly the input is what matters.
Yeah.
But they have to know that's a problem, man. Mouse
Yeah.
has always been more accurate. It's
Yeah.
not even close.
yeah. So let's look into that more because maybe for multiplayer it does if you do turn on crossplay because people on the PC also play with their controller, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, I know. Some
And it's
do.
interesting that Call of Duty is no longer before the tournament series. PlayStation was the platform of choice. So in the previous games, all the tournaments were always played on PlayStation for
Okay.
console.
It seems like the PlayStation controller is dominating
But now
FPSs right now.
guess what the console of choice is for controller
PC or what?
for PC. So now
Yeah.
they moved it to PC, but you have to play with the controller on the PC.
No,
So that's very interesting.
So they're probably using the PC then just strictly for performance.
that's what I'm thinking.
I don't know if there's a deal with Sony. Maybe there's some money going some way. Maybe
Mhm.
Sony was playing for that tournament.
I'd say
I don't know.
it has to be, right? Like, there's got to be something to make it so like all tournaments just use PS4s.
Because that's how it
had
was
to be some money
until
That's
this
how I
new
would do
game.
it.
This
Do
new
you
game
tournaments
is
like
going to
this, yeah.
PC.
I like that though. I like that universal.
it puts it on the everybody's on the same playing
Yeah,
field.
that's what I like
If
about
you want to
it,
compete
you
in the
know?
tournaments, you got to get your.
There's a lot of
PlayStation and play on
variance
it.
in PCs, man. Like even in performance, it's hard to get like a
slight
uniform
graphics card
system.
or
You know?
less
Yeah.
RAM than another, and
Like
but,
any
yeah.
competitive environment, like with Yu-Gi-Oh or anything, everyone's playing with the exact same set of rules. You know, like that's fine. I don't care if it was Xbox or PlayStation, as long as it's like a standardized system.
Right. Even if it's
Um,
PC, as long as it's
like a standard system. But it's harder to do a standard system on
With
PC, is what
PC,
I'm
yeah.
saying. Where you for sure get a standard system on PlayStation, you know,
Right.
or Xbox, you know. So I don't know. We'll have to find out. That's my only concern with that crossplay stuff, because I would love to crossplay, but I don't want to invite in all the PC tryhards, you know.
Could you imagine a COD tournament with the Switch, with the controller drift?
Oh my god.
You can, like,
Dude, that's a controversy right now, man.
that would be heavy, man.
Yeah.
Like trying to be able to combat against all of your opponents and the drift in the
You
Joy-Con
get
controllers.
slayed, man, left and right. Yeah, you get slayed.
It'd be ruthless. But yeah, also I wanted to ask you guys, well, actually I thought COD Zombies was pretty cool. Like, it's been a while since I've played it,
Mhm.
and then hearing you say that they're gonna add like an extra map in there and whatnot is also cool, because that adds some variation, because I knew that the other ones were just kind of like, it was just the same map that you're playing. It would be nice, you're right, if they had like some type of last like 100 rounds, and
Yeah, that'd be
there's
cool,
there's
man.
the end, because then it's like an end game goal for everybody to get to,
Yeah.
and if you're able to accomplish that, cool. I don't necessarily understand what the point of the extraction is if it's the same as if you died, unless there was something like, okay, once you get up to certain levels, there's certain things that you can get, but like, in Division, like the
Yeah.
DZ, you got to extract in
Right.
order to keep it, because if you die in there, you lose it.
That's what I'm thinking.
Then that would be pretty cool. That would be
Mhm.
an interesting aspect of it, because it's like, okay, I gotta get to 15, hit the extraction, and then if I could get out of there, I get this weapon I've been looking for.
I think it's
or
gonna be along the lines
44,
of like
whatever.
you happen to get something you wanted,
Yeah,
and that's like, oh crap, let's extract, let's get
Right,
out of
right,
here,
right.
and then you get out of there.
That would
you,
make it
or
way
you
more
keep
crucial,
going until
too.
you die.
Yeah.
It's gonna be your choice. Like there's gonna be a situation that arises in which you want to leave,
hmm
or just play until you die.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure. So I'm interested to see if they elaborate a little bit more
Yeah.
on that aspect, and
Mhm.
see, if there's something that they just weren't telling you yet. But yeah, it sounds like a cool addition for your $70 game and whatnot. But have you guys heard any of the stuff going on with I guess like storage allocation for like the PlayStation and the Xbox?
no.
I was reading somewhere that they were basically saying that because of how much actual storage we have on the PlayStation and the Xbox, these games are like 200 gigs, 150 gigs of data or whatever, but you can actually decide what parts you want to keep on your system. So like if you never play multiplayer, you can just delete that information off of your system,
Kinda
so that
partition
you
it a
open
bit?
it up. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Or like zip it, in a sense.
That's cool.
So that it allows you, like, if you really play
That's actually really
campaign
nice.
and zombies, then you can just make sure that both of those saves are on your system, and you don't have to download the extra 50.
Are
or
you
don't have to
kidding me,
keep the
dude?
extra 50.
200 gigs, bro.
Yeah, well, but
Oh
it's
my god.
it's nice. I mean,
You
I
can't
don't
buy
know
an
exactly
S.
what it is, but yeah,
You can't do it.
but yeah,
Anyways.
it seems like it's a nice concept, I mean, because I know that
That's
there's
really
like a
nice.
lot of games that we play, and it's a lot of data, and it's like I know I'm only playing like a fourth of that game.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
there's
For
some
sure.
stuff that I don't even need. Like,
Mhm.
if I'm not online, I don't need all that online data and stuff like that. So, I kind of like the way that's going. I feel like
That's
it
a
should be
great
that.
quality of life thing for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It'll free you up some space. It'll allow for your system to run even faster, right? Because
Mhm.
it's a lot less to like load up at once. You know what I mean? So
Definitely.
yeah, definitely.
That's cool.
Trying to wait for that and see exactly how that works and everything. But I know that they started showcasing the Xbox Series X, in people's hands.
Yeah,
you know,
physically
you
in
guys
their
see,
hands.
yeah, did you guys see some of those videos and whatnot? Some of the regular guys, it's kind of funny. You know, we were talking about it before the show started, but it's like they got all these systems, you know, to slide out to people, but yet, you know, we're still restricted on pre-order amounts and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
you
what I
know?
was talking about. You know, like that's frustrating, man. Like, you know, definitely, I want to see how the Xbox
Oh, yeah.
Series X runs. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
We all want to see that. But it's like Marcus was saying, it would have been much better if it was just Microsoft in-house showing us rather than them shipping out all these Xboxes to journalists. And it's like, we're all out here struggling, man. We're all here trying to get a freaking Xbox. We're all out here waiting in line outside overnight. You know, we're all out here sitting on our computer, you know, all night long trying to click and get an Xbox. You know, we're all out here, you know, getting screwed. But the journalists, they all get one, you know? Like, it's cool that, you know, they're comfortable. We'll just make all the consumers sweat. You know, like, that's just a problem for me, man. Like, that drives me up the wall. You know, not to say that I, like I said, don't want to see the performance. It's like, it's just frustrating. It's just
Yeah,
frustrating seeing all those Xboxes out there because a lot of journalists got them. Like, a lot.
Yeah. I just kind of you know, I mean, you know, I guess that's the part of the game when you become a, you know, a well-known journalist, right? Is you get access to things more so than the regular person would. But
Yeah.
it's kind of like if it's something that's so limited that you're literally restricting like the number of pre-orders and stuff like that, like maybe you just like, I mean, from a business standpoint, right? If I'm Xbox or even PlayStation, like I don't need a whole lot of advertisement. I don't need to slide it to all of these people to review it because it's gonna sell regardless.
Right,
You
and
know what
it's-
I mean, I can show you what I've got and how it runs with my own one in-house person to give their review on it, and hopefully, you know, it doesn't seem biased, you know, because they work for me or whatever.
Yeah.
Or just like one person
No.
that I picked, one single, you
Mhm.
know, reviewer that's out there. Like, hey, you are the guy. I'm gonna give you the PlayStation. You check it out. You tell me about it. You know, you're the guy. I'm gonna give you the Xbox. You check it out and tell me about it.
And you
know?
can't fully null and void someone feeling like they got to be biased because they got a free Xbox, right?
Yeah.
But my thing is like, it's not like, you know, if the viewers are thinking, well, would have been like an extra 100 consoles to no. My point is not giving the consumers those consoles. Like, oh, we should have gotten those 100 consoles. No, my idea is that they're making us sweat and making the journalists not have to worry at all. You know, and I get that that's a bonus, but it's just this issue I have that it's just the optics of it. You know, it's like, you know, we're totally fine. I wish we should all suffer, right? Like we should all have to suffer. If we have to suffer because we can't get one, the journalists should have to suffer because they can't get one. You're just it's showing an optics like you have, you know, like you're picking and choosing winners, and like that's all that bothers me. That's frustrating about it. You know?
Yeah, I agree with what Sir Knight said, but the only but I would say is, in exchange for the pain, it's going to be a little harder for me to get it. You know, as the customer, at least I got a little glimpse of what to expect. So
Yeah.
at least there's a little trade-off there. You know, it's harder for
Yeah,
me to
that's
get
funny.
it, but I get a little sneak peek.
Mm-hmm.
So at least there's something there for us. If Sony did something like this, I would kind of be pissed because it seems like that's way more going to be potentially less, you know, in the
More
pool,
scarce.
more scarce.
Yeah.
So if Sony does something like this, you better be showing us, you know, these reviewers better be playing Miles Morales like right now and showing us.
It's kind of like what
know?
Marco was saying. Like, I think Sony, you're right. Like, I think it's going to be like one Japanese place, like one place showcasing, right, the PS5, and we all just watch it. And I'm fine with that
Yeah.
because that shows
Or maybe
scarcity.
a game studio.
We don't
or
have a
something.
lot of these to send out. We don't have many of these. We got one here. We're going to show it all to you. And that gives the optics of, okay, we're all suffering here. We're all
Yeah.
in the same boat. There aren't a lot of them. But when you're shipping them out to like hundreds of journalists and then we're all here and we can't get one, it was a mess trying to get an Xbox.
Yeah.
It was worse than PlayStation because they gave the time and date.
Yeah.
You know, it's just the optics don't look good in my
Yeah.
book.
Maybe they should have worked a better system where they like ship them to each other. Like maybe if Sony does it, they're like, hey, we'll send them to some game studios.
And you all
But
kind of share the
you
one or
have
two.
you have
Yeah.
48 hours to send it back or some crap like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
I mean, who knows? Maybe that's something that they actually did. I mean, maybe those people actually didn't get the consoles. I mean, you know, because you had some people who had the actual console like a while ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
And we're dabbling
Yeah.
with it. But I mean, I would actually I'd prefer, like, if I was to get my hands on it, Like I would prefer like a developer, kit or something like that. That
Right.
can at least produce the games, like it can play the games like how the system that'll be sold at retail would produce it. But like I don't got the same casing or whatever, so it's not like it's not like the same, stuff. So I'm not taking away from another consumer's possible console purchase or whatever. It's like you let me see it, you let me hold it for like 2 months or something like that. I send it back, cool. But if I get to keep this, you gave me like a developer kit that wasn't needed, you know what I mean? But I could still play
Right.
my stuff on it. So if I want the console that looks exactly how it's supposed to look when it comes out, I can go and purchase that too. But I have the this developer kit, that I'm able to check out.
It's not something anyone can buy, so it's unique. So that makes sense. It's a unique thing that that's not an actual Xbox console. We're not as mad, right?
Yeah, because I mean, like, there's like the reviewers and the media people who get like shoes, early, before release, but they get like sample boxes or they get like these crazy elaborate boxes that have all this character and stuff like that, but the retail person's just gonna get this shizzy little shoe box,
Right.
Here, but at least it's different, so it's okay, that's not the retail pairs, that's like these other pairs that they've literally specifically made for them, but still sucks.
I mean,
either way,
yeah,
when you're a consumer and you don't get it, let alone for free, just not getting it is just trash.
And piggybacking off Mark, like we got that taste. What did you think of the taste that we got?
Right.
So I'll start by saying the load times. I was kind of surprised that, still in 2013, the Xbox One and the PS4 were still using, hard drives, spinner drives, these ancient drives.
Yeah.
And I thought over the life cycle of the console, like when the PS4 Pro came out, I don't know why personally I predicted I think they're going to throw an SSD in it. I think, the Xbox One X, I think they're going to use that as a selling point to make it a little more of a upgrade.
Their Scorpio version, at least, right?
Yeah. I thought that was going to be a sales tactic some point, and I was just waiting.
In this generation. Current generation.
But we had to wait all the way to 2020 to get this, these SSDs.
Not even fusion drives. Like I know, like a lot of the Macs have like these days fusions where there's a mix between solid state and standard hard drives.
Yeah, like it'll give you your boot up, off of an SSD,
and chooses
and
which
then,
ones.
Based on what
it's
you're using.
smart, right? So it chooses, which that would have been cool. Like, I could set it up to say, any indie games put on the old hard drive, and any new games put on the. But no, we have waited a long time. We waited a long time for this.
And our wait was worth it. So
because we're getting faster SSDs, right? So we're getting something more than normal.
Faster SSDs. So this also makes me excited for the PlayStation because the PlayStation SSD is going to be faster than the Xbox. So I'm really
looking forward to this PlayStation, dude.
The videos I watched, someone was playing Monster Hunter, someone was playing in Red Dead Redemption, as well as Final Fantasy 15, and the load times were like for Red Dead Redemption, they were taking a minute and a half on the Xbox One, the current version,
right? And
it was taking about 28 seconds, 30 in the 30 realms. So it was cutting it by the third. So that was very impressive. That seemed like a high end PC. It was quick. Final Fantasy 15, they were playing it on a solid 60 FPS. So when they were doing the combat, I'm mainly a PC gamer, so I'm used to messing with my settings to always get that 60. But you just turn on the game and you're getting solid performance. It looked, really smooth. The gameplay looked really, really great. It makes me. I'm still on the fence about getting a launch console, right. But it really adds a compelling reason. Hey, I have this library of games. I'm gonna be able to play them substantially better, not just a little bit, but I'm actually gonna see noticeable, load times, noticeable FPS. Doubling the FPS, reducing the load times by half or more. These are good reasons to get it, even if there's no new games you want to play.
So let me ask you, why are you on the fence about getting like a launch console if it's either Xbox or PlayStation? Like why would you hesitate?
Because I have a PC. That's the main reason. Because I'm already playing games with 60 FPS or greater, and I've had an SSD, since 2013 or earlier.
Okay.
So a lot of these games I have on Game Pass for my PC.
Right.
So I'm not saying my computer's better than the Xbox Series X or PS5.
You're just saying that you already have something that's able to play those new games. So what's the point in rushing out the door
in
to
that
grab
manner.
one? Right.
So
Well, I'm on the fence too. You know,
Yeah.
mainly because there's not a whole lot to play on these things.
And there's
that's
not,
the
like-
primary reason why I'm on the fence. It's because anything that's coming out this November, I can just play on my current gen system. So the only reason why I'd be getting a new console is what Mark is saying for these quality of life improvements. You know, faster load times, better graphics, better frame rates. Which would be a lot of fun. But I don't need it. It's not even anywhere close to a need in the gaming sense. I mean, no games are needed, right? But I'm talking about, gosh, you know, I really need to get this console because if I don't, I can't play these games. Like that problem isn't there. You know, so that's more why I'm on the fence.
Well, I was looking somewhere and they were saying that that there were like timed exclusives in a sense for the Game Pass, because you know how like there's quite a few games that are on the Game Pass for console but they're not available for PC. And then vice versa.
Right.
Correct.
So I think that there are going to be like a few that are only going to be able to be played on a console. So yeah, if as long as you have an Xbox One X, One or whatever, then you're golden, because you could still play it on your Game Pass on your console. But if you're somebody like me that's like borrowing a console, you know what I mean? I don't have it, so I wouldn't be able to. Yeah, I would need to buy it if I wanted to play it, you know, like when it first comes out and launches and whatnot. So that's the only difference that I was seeing there. So yeah, I mean, as long as you got a console, then yeah, it's no rush to be, you know, sitting there at the store midnight, you know, trying to pray you get one that's left over, you know, from the pre-orders or whatever.
Yeah, but what did y'all think about the quick resume? Did you guys notice that quick resume?
I thought it was pretty dope. You know, just, you know, seeing the console, it's like cool. We've already seen the designs. Like, I don't need people to keep holding it and showing me like what it looks like next to a TV. All this stuff's irrelevant.
You want to see how it performs
I
already.
liked, I like that. It's giving games like faster load times and stuff like that. I'll tell you one thing I haven't seen, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but like Destiny 2. Like, what is the load times to get me logged on and to my character? Because right now they're like almost 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Like it's like atrocious to wait for it to like connect to the server and all
that. I didn't
that
see
crap.
that firing the game up. I didn't see any images of that. Just when they opened up the character screen, how your character instantly appeared.
That's another
You know,
problem. Is like you know,
it's
having
all
all of
fast.
all of your gear like load up into your menu. You know, it takes a minute for it. So if that type of stuff
No, the series
is sped up,
No, that's
then
way sped up.
Yeah,
that is
would
sped
be
up
fantastic.
for sure. There's footage of that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen footage of them. Like that's a good point because I fired up, you know, Destiny 2 as well recently because y'all are playing it.
Right.
And it is a while.
It takes a
minute.
Even on
Yeah.
my X, on my One X.
Right.
You know, it's taking
Takes
a
a minute.
while.
Yeah, I literally
to get to just pick my character out.
Yeah, last night I was playing it last night and I literally like turned it on so that it could connect, and I went and I cleaned the room up. And then,
it's
you know, I put things
crazy
away.
long.
I went and took care of my kids like I had time, you know what I mean? And then it's like, okay, after that long wait sequence, right? Then you pick one of your 3 characters or whatever, and then you gotta wait to get up into space or whatever to open your directory and stuff. So, you know, that's the type of stuff like I don't want to have to set it and
No, that's
forget
gonna
it
all
and
be
then come
improved.
back. Like
All
I
that's gonna
need
be
that
improved.
fixed.
And I think a good percentage is probably what like Mark was saying, about a third. It's probably gonna be a third quicker, or 2/3 quicker, right? About the third of the time that it takes now is what it will probably take on the Series X.
Okay. Yeah,
You know?
that's definitely a boost.
Another
That'd be
thing
nice.
too that was crazy was that, you know, they got these systems and the first thing they did was they went and looked at the hard drive, and 200 gigs were for, you know,
System.
the operating system and
Yeah.
you know, various packages in the system. You know?
Yeah, I saw that the PlayStation 5 goes from like 852 down to like 606 or something like
200
that.
on that
After
too.
it's basically, you know, because the PlayStation 5 comes
Oh,
with the
man.
comes with that Astro's Playroom game or whatever.
Delete that
So
crap.
that's like 2.4 gigs already in its own. So
It's
after
a
you
game
go-
though,
Oh,
at
bad.
least.
Yeah.
It's at least a game.
but it's
right?
like after you get it and it's already this like weirdly low number of gigs that you have access to for storage, right? That's already chalked heavy just for the operating system. And then, you know, another 2.4 gigs or whatever for the game. That's cool and all, but like 606, like, it's barely slightly above what the S is giving you. It makes
no, but you got to take 200 off the S, and now you're at where the
Oh.
S is at, right?
So it's
The
even
S is
more
at
trash.
300, dude.
The S is even more worse.
300.
So it just seems like and I still haven't seen it. I think we had talked about it before, whatever. But for like expansions, like storage expansions, stuff like that, we still haven't seen the PlayStation release any information. So we don't know if it's
No,
gonna
we don't
work
know.
perfectly well with a regular hard disk drive that you can plug in, that you got like a 3 terabyte for like $40 or something. You know what I mean? We don't know if it's gonna work well with that. But I'm definitely waiting to see what PlayStation's gonna do, because it's really low. I mean,
Yeah.
it's gonna be, it is what it is, but it's just like, good grief, like that's
Well,
low.
at least on PlayStation, you're going to be able to put external SSDs,
Yeah.
attach them. So that problem, it's a worse problem on Xbox, and in particular the Xbox One S.
Right, which makes that partitioning of what you want to keep in the games
Even
that
more
much
important.
more crucial.
Yeah.
Because you need that, man, at this point in time.
Yeah.
It's like,
Like,
okay,
for instance, if I get Last of Us 2, I'm not downloading the multiplayer stuff, right?
Nah,
Like,
I
I'm
don't
just
need that.
playing
Yeah.
the campaign. So that's like half, probably. Who knows what?
right.
A huge chunk of data, you save. But
Yeah.
it looks fun. I mean, the Series X, it looks fast. It looks fun. It is exciting. When you see all those improvements, it excites you.
Yeah.
The luster's there. It's like, crap, like, dude, do I really want to wait? Because it looks
Yeah.
really good. But remember, like, you don't need it. The games that are going to come out on it, and a lot of them are upgraded to the next gen version.
Mhm.
I'm going to really stick with Ubisoft, like, this holiday season.
Mhm.
Like, I'm really going to stick with Ubisoft, because every single Ubisoft game is a free upgrade to the next gen console.
So you're just gonna buy like a
Nice.
PS4 version?
Yeah, like,
of
I'll
it
buy
and just be
Valhalla PS4 version and play
Nice.
that, or I'll buy Phoenix Rising. That's a Ubisoft game too.
cool? Right.
Oh, yeah, that game looks great.
Or Far Cry 6.
What
you
about
know?
Cyberpunk? Are you gonna get that as a PS4 version? or
That's
you
a
just
free
gonna get
upgrade to PS5 too. That's not a Ubi
Right.
game, but I'm gonna get the PS4 because I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna have a PS5.
Well, because
I don't
you won't be
know.
able to get a pre-order.
I don't know because I don't know if they're gonna be physically in the store.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm worried about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got you. But yeah, the consoles are out there. I did see a video of somebody who got a hold of who had a PS5 and a PS or a Series X, and they were loading them, like just booting them like cold boots, and it looked like the PS5 was still just a little bit quicker than the Series X, but they were still pretty quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For it to be completely off and then start up,
The
and allow
PS5
you to
should
go
be
in it,
quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be. I mean, you're getting that little trade off, a little less storage, but faster. So definitely, there's a pro and con for each. But
Yeah,
I'm
and-
excited for. Or sorry to cut you off, Marcus.
No,
I'm
go ahead.
excited to see these PS5 load times.
Definitely.
Because that SSD is supposed to be a couple gigs quicker.
A couple times, like twice as fast.
Yeah, potentially up to twice as
Series
fast.
X,
So
yeah.
imagine if it went from
10 to 15 second Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, imagine a 10 to 15 second Destiny.
Dude,
'Cause,
I was just gonna ask, like, would that
Dude.
make you just go ahead and buy the DLC for the PlayStation if it just booted up
That's
like lickety
so
split,
nice.
like
That's-
without having to wait? Like, you pull up your menu, you see all your gear,
Just spend
it's
the
nothing
money
loading.
for that luxury.
Yeah,
Because
It's
that
just
is
spend
that is a
money.
luxury. You're
That's a
getting time
huge
in
lu-
your life back. You're getting time
Over
in
the
your-
course of your game time, right?
over the
that's gonna add
generation. That's time.
hours, right? Over the course of the hundreds of hours you play.
if all of that, the cinematics of like going into space and then flying off, if all of that is sped up just quicker, just a lot quicker, and you're not sitting there waiting and all that, like where you can just check like your Instagram or something, like that's gonna definitely make a huge difference,
Mhm.
man. That would
Yeah.
kind of like have me like,
That's a big
should
one,
I
dude.
pay the $20 just to go
That's
ahead and
why
get
I'm
all
with
of the
Mark. I'm
expensive
super
stuff away?
curious.
So we're
on
gonna have
the
to see
PlayStation's
those
load times.
comparisons.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, for sure.
So-
We're gonna see them. It's not gonna be long.
Yeah, if
Please.
anything, you will catch the comparisons here.
Yes,
because
we will
one of
talk
us
about
will do
them.
it
Yeah,
here,
we
and
will
we'll
talk about
definitely
them.
talk
Yeah, we
about
gotta
those
see
games that
that.
don't get mentioned. But another one of those things that came out was
talking me?
PlayStation and the PS5 and Spider-Man. You know,
Or
I saw the little leak or whatever that they had of the remastered version of Spider-Man, and I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but something was different. I don't know if anybody else noticed it. Did you guys notice what was different about it?
Complete new actor, right?
Yeah, so they completely
Completely new
switched.
Completely new face. Yeah.
They completely switched to Spider-Man, and you know, like off top, like it doesn't really matter to me. I kind of thought that the original Peter Parker for it looked a tad aged for what they have been recently depicting
Mhm.
Spider-Man as, and you think they'd follow suit, but he seemed like he would be a bit more seasoned with it, you know, a little bit more developed in his life than being like an intern or whatever.
Right.
But this PS5 update, for one, like the characters and the graphics look amazing. Like they look really good. You know, the
Dude.
faces were clear, like it was
Yeah.
crystal clear, the lighting, all that stuff looked amazing. And then the Peter Parker looked like he looked like he should be an intern.
Mhm.
You know, at this
Oh, yeah,
point,
for
you
sure.
know what I mean? He looked young. He looked like, you know, he's, you know, fresh in the college, and, you know, he's trying to get his bearings into the, you know, into that tech world or whatever. So, the fact that they changed it kind of weird. Like I could see if they just changed like the face and they kept the voices, but you recasted it. So it kind of
Well, you
makes
know
me
why they did that,
wonder-
right? Well, the reason they gave,
No, why?
the reason why they changed his face is because the person who voices Peter Parker in the game is not the facial actor. It's someone named
Oh.
Yuri Lowenthal, and he's the actual voice of Peter Parker in the
Uh-huh.
game.
Yeah.
And so they wanted to find someone who had a similar face to his, because he does all the voice acting. You know, he's like the actor.
Yeah.
He does all the acting in the game.
So
Who
he
looked
does he
similar.
do the actual physical acting?
Yeah, he does the physical
Okay.
acting and the voice.
Right.
So they wanted to find someone that had a more similar face to his,
Uh-huh.
because of all these improvements they're making to the character models and stuff, like the
Okay.
facial animations and
Yeah.
emotions.
Right.
The original imagery they have wasn't working as well for the
Mhm.
new PS5 variant.
Got
Yeah.
it.
So that's the reason they gave.
Okay.
But it is interesting how similar he looks to Tom Holland, right?
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of people were
You got the
thinking that
young
was the
appeal and
reason.
whatnot, yeah.
But Insomniac, because it was kind of going around like wildfire, you know, this controversy of like, oh, they changed the actor to look like Tom Holland. The creative director of Insomniac came out and said, no, we didn't do it for that reason. We did it for fidelity reasons,
Okay.
because we wanted someone that we could match the voice actor to much better for all the character models and facial features,
Okay.
right? So that makes sense. That's good. That's a good thing, I think.
Yeah.
You know,
Kind
like-
of sucks for the original actor,
It
right?
does
'Cause
suck
he's
a
not
little
gonna
bit
get
for the
that
original
bread for
actor.
that, you know, for the sales of that
Yeah,
title.
for
But you know,
sure.
I guess it is what it is. At least he was Spider-Man, right, on the PS4. That's forever. I still got that game, so I'm forever gonna have that. So he's gonna
Yeah.
forever on the PS4 version. He's gonna be that character. But yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, but I like the way the kid looked. He looked a little bit more.
Did it bother you?
In line? It didn't. It
Yeah,
didn't really matter
okay.
to me. It kind of made me want to play it again on the PS5
enough,
version
it's
in
a
a
new
sense.
content,
Yeah, because
guys.
it's like, you know, I already know how the lines were given to me, the
Right.
facial features, the acting, you know, in the PS4 version. So to have somebody totally, you know, else totally do it, it kind of brings me back to Destiny when they had
Oh, the ghost voice
had
changed?
the who's the guy that was in Game of Thrones?
Oh,
I forgot
yeah.
what his name
The
was. but-
Dinkling,
Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
So he had done the voice acting for the Ghost, and then
Yeah.
people weren't really feeling
No,
it. So
they
then you
weren't.
got Christopher Nolan. Not Christopher Nolan. What is the dude's name? It's Nolan something, right?
It's the guy from Joel from Last of Us 2, right? He does the same voice.
No, it's not.
Oh,
it's
wait.
I
not
don't know
Joel.
who they got.
He's a well-known
Yeah, yeah.
voice actor, and he did Drake.
Yeah, I thought it was the
But
same
I
guy
can't
who did
remember
Joel,
his.
but
I can't remember his name. Yeah, if
Yeah.
you guys know in the comments, man, I'm totally having a brain fart. Put it in the comments, to let us know. But yeah, so that actor, the same guy who did Nathan Drake, for the other the PlayStation games for
Mhm.
Uncharted, he was the one that then took the role on as the Ghost, and he
Ah.
kind of gave the Ghost a lot more personality,
People liked
and it
him a
was
lot.
cool for
Yeah.
Peter to, you know, be like, oh, you know, I recognize his voice and stuff like that, and for him to have that. But yeah, it kind of made the Ghost this like from this like inanimate floating object that's just kind of like whatever talking to having like a lot more character.
Mm-hmm.
And it made it, you know, made the ghost a tad bit more lovable or whatever after the guy was changed.
Right.
So I'm interested to see, you know, some of the gameplay footage or whatever to see if I kind of like, you know, how he was portrayed and whatnot in this version, this PS5 version of the game. So it's making me kind of want to be like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll probably get that $70 version now, pay the 20, and I'll have both games,
I know, right?
and I'll get a new Spider-Man on top of that, you know, and see how that
So
goes.
having never played it, Mark, what do you think?
So I didn't get the backlash at all. It made no sense for me why everyone online was bashing it, from my perspective, because it seemed like to me the new Spider-Man looks way better. The other face looked off to me. The new one looks more refined, more pleasing, and I thought it was Tom Holland at first. So I looked it up, and everyone was saying, "Oh, it looks too young. It looks like a 15-year-old. It looks like Tom Holland."
That's
I was like,
Spider-Man, though. He's
and I
young.
googled
That's a smart
how,
kid.
and I googled how old is Tom Holland. Oh, he's 24. So how old is this character supposed to be? And it said 23. So I was like, age matches up. I mean, he can't help if he has a baby face, but it's actually not Tom Holland, based on what you were saying,
it's
because
not.
I was
Yeah, it's
confused.
It didn't really look like Tom Holland to me. It
There
just
was a
looked like
little.
young
There was a
kid.
little bit. There was a little similar. I
That's
thought
what
it was
everything
similar.
online was saying.
Yeah, it
you
looked
know?
similar
So
to
I was
me.
confused.
Yeah.
But you shared that information, so that makes a lot of sense. So to me, it's just a graphical improvement, and that's a thumbs up for me.
I wouldn't even understand, like, why wouldn't you just pay the money and get Tom Holland to do the voice
Well, I
acting?
mean, that's the first thought I had too. It's
Put it
like
in the same.
I saw that picture. Like, oh snap! They dropped some money for this PS5 version, but it's not. He's not Tom Holland.
Yeah.
But when I saw it too, like my first thought wasn't necessarily just about the controversy of who Peter Parker is.
Yeah.
It's like it almost got me a little jealous. So I was like, dang, you know, like look at all this
They're
work
getting
they're
an upgraded
doing.
like version.
This
yeah.
is like this is somewhere between a remaster and a remake to me. Like it's not just
In
a
a sense.
remaster, right? Where it's upscaled frame rates and resolution.
Right.
Like they're redoing it. They're adding in more depth and more. They're making the scenes have more, you know, particles in it and just junk they're throwing into it. They're doing a lot of extra work on this version of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That I'm a little jealous, you know, like. I wish I had never played the original Spider-Man, you know, because then
So
I
I
would
could just experience
definitely
this
snap
first
up
place.
for the $70 one that comes with Miles Morales
Yeah.
and play this one because it's looking really good.
But you also got to kind of, you know, look at it. You know, I'll play like the devil's advocate, how you normally play it. Tell me about those things. But you're getting this brand new Spider-Man, right? So it's going to be portrayed in a different way. You know, the lines are going to be, you know, fairly similar, but the voice fluctuations, you know what I mean? The facial expressions are going to be different. So that's different. And then on top of that, if they give you the City Never Sleeps DLC and all the other DLC that had came out originally for the PS4 version, with that, you know, that's a pretty good $20 deal that you paid extra
And
for.
you're getting Miles.
Yeah, and you're getting Miles on top of that. So I think it's fairly reasonable if you played the PS4 version but you never bought the DLC for it, then you can play all of that DLC.
That's true.
And the game.
You've played
as
the
well
DLC,
as
right?
Miles Morales. I haven't played every single piece. Now I have all of them.
Right.
I just never went back into Spider-Man, and then I'll let you borrow it, so I couldn't even play it right now. But I think there's like the very last DLC that came out, because they had the cat girl or whatever, Catwoman or whatever her Black Cat.
Right.
Black Cat was the first like DLC, and then there was like I think another 2 or 1, something like that came out. And I didn't play the last one, so you know it would be new if it was all there, you know, on this PS5.
On that point, I was reading or I heard that you're not going to be able to transfer your PS4 save to PS5.
I don't think so either.
For Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Wow.
You would for Miles Morales, I'm hearing, but not for Spider-Man.
I know that they're
That's
not doing
weird.
it for. I don't think that they're doing it for NBA 2K21, because from what I understood is that, you know, the PS5 version, it was going to be like a whole new save. You'd have to start
Dude,
like a
that
whole new character.
sucks.
That's
So
why
if
I
I
haven't even bought
got the
2K21.
new Spider-Man for PS5, I have to start it all over again.
Dang. So
rather than just jumping into the DLC.
so
that I
for
would
trophy
want, like I would
hunters,
wanna
that kind
do.
of sucks. For completionists, that kind of sucks. right?
If you were
Well,
almost
that's what I'm
complete,
wondering. Do I get to double dip here? Do I get to get the platinum trophy a second time on the new console?
That's
That's a
what I'm
good
interesting.
question.
wondering, you know?
You'd have to see then. You'd have to look into
Yeah.
the files.
That would be cool because people like you, like, you know, I'll just get on PS5 again. I'll beat the platinum it again.
And then
For
if there's,
trophy
like,
hunters, it's really
why not?
cool, you know? Yeah.
maybe they added an extra trophy in there, like double dipper. It's
The
like
double-
it's like the new
It's
platinum
double platinum,
trophy.
double platinum,
dipper
platinum
trophy.
twice.
Or they had like a diamond. There's now like a diamond trophy.
I don't
instead
think
of
I'd want to
platinum.
go through and do the platinum all over again, but I definitely want to see all the changes. I feel like they're doing to the game what I complained about when we first talked about the game. How I didn't think there was enough character in the world. You know, I thought it was a little bit drab and repetitive and copy and paste. They're adding in all these new partitions, you know, that I'm excited to see
It
what it
kind
looks
of
like.
seems like it's inevitable for there to be a mass repetition in the city. I feel like we're gonna come across that with Cyberpunk. We've come across it in Grand Theft
I
Auto.
don't know, dude. Cyberpunk looks very unique everywhere you go.
Red Dead Redemption.
I didn't feel that way when I was playing Red Dead. I didn't feel that way when I was playing Grand Theft Auto.
really.
No, I didn't feel like it
I
didn't
felt
feel
like I
it
was
didn't
running
feel like
across, the same
repetition to
type of
me.
people,
Mm-mm.
quite often out there in the cities.
It all felt unique. Like everything felt unique. They didn't feel like anything was copy and pasted. Is what I'm saying.
Mm.
Like it looks similar. There's a similar look to it because you're in a certain part of the country, right? But it didn't feel like, oh, I've seen that same tree for the 99th time, you know, or I've seen that
Definitely
exact
was
same
like that
box
in,
or that exact same thing, you know, for the 1000th time. It all felt unique and different. Like it felt more real.
it was definitely repetitive in Ghost.
Ghost was
Sure,
very
a lot.
repetitive. Ghost fell into that trap too. I would like Ghost is prettier than Spider-Man, but it fell into that same repetitive pattern where like, gosh, I've seen that tree 1,000 times.
I've helped that villager.
I've
8
helped that
times.
villager 8 times.
Get
dude.
out of here, bro. Like, why am I still rescuing you?
Yes, I didn't feel that way when I played like Grand Theft Auto. Like every character kind of felt unique and different, and every experience and every building, they all look similar, but they're all different looking. You know, and different little different character. But that's Rockstar, right? Like they're the masters at doing that kind of stuff. And same with like Naughty Dog. It all looks different. It doesn't look the same, although it's not an open world game. And I wasn't really getting that vibe with Horizon too. A little bit with Horizon, but not as much with like Ghost and Spider-Man.
It's kind of hard
That
with Horizon
repetition
because you just
drop.
got like monsters and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah, I'm
monsters
just
are
talking
gonna
about
be
the open
monsters.
world, moving from zone to
Oh, the
zone to zone. Like
environments.
it didn't feel that repetitive. A little bit, but not as much as like Ghost and Spider-Man did.
Right.
You know, but
Yeah. So, the PS5, like Spider-Man, does that make you gonna get it? You gonna get that upgraded version?
Maybe.
Yeah,
I honestly,
it's a good game, man.
Demon Souls is gonna be my number one,
for sure.
and
I hope it comes with all that DLC.
I might borrow it from somebody. Hopefully,
there was.
I don't know because you let me borrow the current version, which I haven't even booted up. I can give it back to you until I'm ready to play it.
You should check it out, man. Just pop it in there and play it. Just
Because of So I don't know. It looks great, but I'm still kind of on the fence. My sights are still set on Demon Souls. Like that's gonna be the game
For
that
sure.
I'm gonna play through. I just bought Dark Souls 2.
Okay.
Because I started with the third one, then I got the Dark Souls remastered, and then I just got Dark Souls 2. So I really just want to play Demon Souls. I want to, potentially platinum it. I want to just get burnt out on that game and then move on to something else. Because that game is just when I watch the footage
when you watch it again, you just
Spider-Man looks beautiful. I don't want to discredit Spider-Man. Spider-Man looks incredible, but just something about Demon Souls, when I watch it, I want to play it.
There's nothing repetitive about that game at all.
Yeah. At least not from the original joint.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Side note: have you guys checked out anything on the on Godfall, the Godfall tip?
Dude,
have you been seeing the new stuff coming out?
I haven't seen really anything on Godfall.
They've been showing like a lot of the Valor plates. They've been showing a lot of
they've been showing some of the gear
like
stuff,
that.
like not really a lot of gameplay or like a lot of news on it.
No, they just showed like quite a bit of gameplay.
I just saw a trailer.
recently.
I didn't watch it.
Well, it wasn't.
Was it for
like
PC or?
So there's this guy that I subscribe to on YouTube, Eric's Gaming. So doubt you watch it, but shout out to you. But he had an interview with one of the, I think it was the producers of the game of Godfall. So they were going through like all the weapons and different things, and they were showing like the spear, they were showing the hammer, The dual bladed, the dual swords, sword and shield,
Mhm.
and kind of going into some of the techniques and different things like that. And it looked pretty cool. It kind of made me a little bit more interested in it. Then they did reveal like a second trailer, starring like the two brothers or whatever, and their how their relationship is and stuff like that in their valor plates.
Mhm.
So that was an interesting little video to watch. But it looks like it looks like it's pretty fun. The combat looked really fluid. I was looking at drops, when they're hitting the floor. They look like they're pretty often. So I was a little bit more interested in it. I had been like so on it, but after seeing the gameplay and seeing the guy talk about some of the weapons and how things were working and how you can, I think they said you could potentially carry like 2 or 3 weapons on you.
Nice.
And so you can kind of like fluidly switch into them. So you could be hitting up with like dual swords and then switch into like a hammer and then it's like smash.
This is a
down
PS5 exclusive, right?
Yeah. Well,
no, because I've
might
been
be timed.
I mean, the only way you can get it when it launches is on PS5 for the time being, right?
So I've been seeing if you buy certain Radeon graphics cards, you get the game for free on PC. So I'm not sure. I'll look that up real quick.
Yeah, but
because I mean, for it being like a PS5 exclusive, I think is what I mean. They haven't been pushing it very much.
Yeah,
I feel like the only one we've been hearing about really is Demon Souls, and a little bit of that All Stars Destruction too.
I haven't seen anything
That's supposed
about
to be
All-Stars
$70, dude.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's on PC and PS5.
It's on
PC
PC.
and PS.
Oh,
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I mean,
So
from
a
what I was
console,
seeing,
you can't get on your PS4. Like if you want to play that, you have to get a PS5, which is interesting.
right? Yeah, because it's just
Yeah.
sticking strictly to that.
Right.
But you should check out.
I'm gonna
the
look
videos
into
and
it,
stuff
yeah,
like
because
that,
I was
yeah.
interested in it.
Right.
But yeah, I just don't know, man. I guess we'll talk about that next. If I might be able to get one.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Like
Yeah.
the fact that PS5 pre-orders have just been like canceled
Mhm.
or pushed back, delayed until 2021, and that sounds kind of nuts. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's already extremely limited, and there was like a lot of hoopla around it. So you mean to tell me that like GameStop and Amazon and a couple of other places in
Yeah.
America as well as in other
Europe and
countries
stuff, yeah.
are like they're overselling themselves? Like it's like, oh, hey, PlayStation called me and they told me those 60 pre-orders that I had coming, it's not 60, it's 30. So like I just called to let you know that you got a PlayStation and it's good, but it's not going to be in until March
Oh
or
my God.
January or possibly February. But we'll let you know. We'll update you. It's like that's kind of
frustrating,
nuts. That's a
dude.
nuts concept. It's like if I pre-ordered it,
Yeah.
I was guaranteed to get it at this date. So, what's going on? Why not? Why not before? I
It's
don't
a
know. There's got to
mess.
be some way that they could be able to fulfill all those pre-orders and stuff like
It's a
that.
mess, dude.
Yeah, because I mean, especially like Amazon. You know what I mean? Amazon's like a huge corporation. I know tons of people who are pre-ordering stuff from Amazon, and I hope it's just not the same for the Xbox. Because it was already bad that people were pre-ordering or buying One X's instead of the Series X. On places like Amazon and
Right.
stuff, but to then have been able to get a locked in Series X and then somebody tell you that it's not going to be available until like 3 months after is like nuts. And then on top of that, I was hearing somebody had said that like, yeah, you might not be guaranteed that that PlayStation 5 disc version, but
Oh,
if
yeah,
you'd
I
like,
heard that
if
too.
you'd like to switch
You can get
to
a digital.
the digital,
It's like, yeah,
then
that.
we have those. So
Nope.
could you imagine the game that would be, right? That would be like a crazy setup. It's like, all right, lock in your pre-orders for the disc
Oh, yeah,
version,
dude.
and boom, you get it, and then it's like, sorry, that one's not available.
Total scam.
But we have this digital, and that's for certain. You can get that definitely. It kind of reminds me of like when you look in the newspaper and you find like a sale on a car,
Yep.
That's like, you know, a
Bait and
new
switch.
version, and
Yeah.
it's really nice.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, we got one on the lot, and it's for dirt cheap. It's like 15,000 when the car's normally like 25,000. You're like, oh, I gotta go see it. And you get there, we just sold it off the lot, but we
got
do have this
these,
one
yeah.
right here. It's not 25 and it's not 15, but it is 24. Would you like it?
Or not just that, like when I was buying my Honda, you go to the lot and it's like this great deal.
Yeah.
But then they start to throw all these, you know, insurances and guarantees,
All of the stuff that
and
they
all these
added to the
warranties,
car
all
that-
these, yeah. Oh, we
Cancel
put a
all that
low
crap.
jack on here. You got to pay for that too. You're like,
Did
what?
you want these? Did you want
Nope.
these rims?
This
Because
ain't
these
no-
didn't
yeah,
come
this ain't
standard
no
with
deal.
it. These rims was an extra $2K on
Totally,
here. So
dude.
if you
Nope.
want these
Same
rims,
deal.
or you could get these shizzy ones, and it's like, dude,
Yeah.
I saw the car with these rims. I want these rims. You know what I
That's
mean?
what the price said under this picture. How can you be doing that? You know.
Cancel.
Yeah, that's I definitely hope it's not like some type of bamboozlement to get me to get like the digital
That's-
version. I hope not, but I've been checking. Like I still been checking
That's
pretty
cynical,
hard.
man. I hope not.
Yeah, I've been checking pretty hard on freaking Best Buy, and I haven't seen either of the consoles available for pre-order. So I mean,
Yeah, man.
but-
Imagine, I pre-order my physical copy of Demon Souls, right? Pre-order my physical disc version. I go to pick it up.
And you can't.
Here's your Demon Souls.
Here's
Here
your
you go.
digital edition.
Oh, we don't have any disc versions. Here's
It's
your
a-
here's
it's
the
a little
digital.
slip.
I'm like, well, what am I gonna do with this game?
like,
Like, what are you?
did I
gonna
click
do
the
with this
wrong
game?
thing? Like, tell me what I paid for. Did I pay for the physical or did I pay for the digital?
And I feel like GameStop would do stuff like that because that place over the past couple
Yeah.
years has been doing some shicey things. I heard online that they were letting at certain stores, not at all stores,
Yeah.
they're letting people pre-order, but you had to get that stupid like $700
I heard
bundle
that too.
crap.
It's like an $800 and something dollar
800.
bundle, bro.
There's two
It was
bundles.
like almost
Yeah,
900
yeah, yeah.
bucks.
I think the digital one was like $789, and then the disc version was like almost $900.
Yes.
And that was the only way they let you pre-order.
That's nuts. But
Yep.
like off topic, really quick. Have you guys noticed that they're starting to give like boosties to all the digital versions? There's digital deluxe versions, but there aren't any physical deluxe copies of anything. Like
Of
Demon
games?
Souls. Yeah, like Demon Souls.
Yeah,
There's a
dude.
digital deluxe of it. And it gives you like some skins, like some new weapons and armor, like the digital soundtrack, all this stuff, but it's literally only a digital version. So and some new things that weren't, some new items or whatever that weren't in the original one. You know, you get these if you buy the digital deluxe version.
I
but
went
there
into
is
that-
no physical.
I went into that
deluxe.
rant on the COD Cold War, how they were only giving you the beta if you pre-ordered the digital version.
Right.
Remember when I was going into
Another
my
one.
major rant on that? How I
Yeah.
thought that was like an unethical thing to do. That's
trying to
that-
sell
dude.
these
They're
digitals
pushing
hard,
the digital
man.
hard. Why would I ever want to spend $70 on a digital game, man? That just seems so dumb.
It's like
That's crazy. You can't recoup any of that back, man. That has to be
That
something
better
you
be
play
your
for the
favorite
rest of your,
game.
yeah, it better be your favorite game you play for the rest of your life, you
And
know?
it's just like it's like pure profit from their
Yeah,
end
it's
because
pure
they didn't have to
profit.
spend
They don't
any
give
money
you
on a
no
disc.
deal.
They didn't have to spend it on a casing, the
No
paper that's inside the
shipping.
casing, no shipping. Like nobody had to. They didn't have to go
Dude,
through a
it's
middleman and sell
nuts.
it lower for Walmart or Best Buy to purchase. It's strictly going to their pockets when you get it digital straight from their website. And it's like, dang, man, like that's the come up. You know, that's how you do it with books. You know what I mean? You get all your money if you publish a book digitally. Like you get it all.
Yep.
You didn't have to put nothing out there
Mhm.
except your information. You know your thoughts on this file, and then put it out there. You know, indies. That's how they get all their money, is because it's
Mhm.
strictly digital. But I mean, even then, whoever's selling it is getting like their cut, unless you're getting it from the website. But
I know, man.
it's like,
I don't
dang,
know.
man.
Like they're pushing all this stuff crazy, canceling pre-orders. This is partly why I was kind of saying before, I wish they would have just launched these consoles next year. Like wait until you have product that you can sell us. Like let me think. Probably like what, 80+% of the gaming community is not going to be able to get a next gen console, right? Am I even being generous?
at
Is
launch.
it 90%? Yeah,
Not
at launch.
right? It's
Like
probably
it's probably like a very small percentage of the gaming community that's going to actually be able to get a next gen console. So why is it even like, it doesn't even exist to me? For people like us, it don't even exist. It's not a real thing.
you gotta
And we
have some real good RNG for it to exist.
yeah, and they keep talking about it like it's this normal thing, but we can't get it.
Yeah.
None of us can get one. And like, I don't even know if it's going to be available in the stores. Like what I normally have done is I'll
Where you
go
just walk
camp
in.
out, and I'll sit out a night or two to get the new console.
Yeah.
With this pre-order debacle, man, I don't even know. Our store's going to even be getting any additional physical, consoles to put on their shelves?
And if they
This
do,
is
it's probably
crazy.
gonna be like how that guy did you at GameStop. Where they're just gonna be like, you're gonna call and be like, hey, do
they
you
don't
guys
even
have
tell
any
you how many they have.
any non-pre-ordered consoles? No, we ain't got none. You know what I mean? Like, and you got like 2 or something sitting there, and they're probably gonna be grabbed by the employees or whatever.
Or by some random Joe who just happened to walk
just
into
walked
GameStop
in,
that
yeah.
day. Oh, that's out now? Okay, I'll buy
And,
one.
he's gonna be like, oh, let me check in the back and just see, and then
Right.
oh, there's like one stashed under there. It's like, oh yeah, we got one. We can sell that to you. And
Some
it's
dude
like, bro,
didn't
I
even
just
care,
called.
know?
Right. yeah.
Totally.
So
Whatever can happen will happen. Murphy's Law, right? Like garbage.
Yeah. So, it's kind of rough with the pre-orders. I feel for all those people that solidly thought that they were gonna get a console at launch, and hopefully that changes. Hopefully that there's enough backlash, or there's some kind of like spurt of manufacturing that they're able to get out more than what they thought or something. But it just keeps leaving me to
It's a
feel
mess.
like we were kind of we were tricked into thinking that there was going to be a crap ton, and there really wasn't as many. Like all of that was like some shell game that they were playing with the other company. Like PlayStation's like, oh, we'll just make it look like we just got a lot and we can supply everybody. Just to have Microsoft show some of their hand. You know what I mean? And then it's like, maybe nobody will find out.
Yeah,
It just backfired
I'm
on
calling
them.
it now. This Christmas, I feel bad for parents who, like, if their kid wants something, they have to buy it for them. But these
Resale.
consoles are gonna be 1,000 plus. I'm calling it now.
Resale, man. That's
The resale is gonna be 1K minimum, even for the digital minimum. And I'm scared to even see the true prices, during this holiday season. But prices on things are already, when the stimulus checks came and everyone was at home, for regular PlayStations, for Switches, like the prices were absurd. The prices were absurd, So
Yep.
this Christmas, it's gonna get worse, and I feel for
Such a
people.
screw up
I
by
feel for
Sony
people who
and
are gonna pay 1,000, because do not pay 1,000 for a PlayStation. Do not. You can build an equally good computer for 1,000. Do pay 500. It's worth 500 all day, but do not pay 1,000 for this. Just wait. I know people don't like to
Just
hear
buy
that.
your PS4 versions. I mean, I have been trying to hold off on purchasing games just because I wanted the actual PS5 cases for the majority of my games so that I have them. You know what I mean? But
Right.
I think I might just end up having to purchase Cyberpunk, PS4 version, or purchasing Valhalla PS4 version, or whatever, 2K21, just getting the Mamba edition, PS4 version, and then just upgrade, just putting it in my PlayStation.
I think that's the way to
5,
go, man.
Just, dealing with that.
Yeah.
Like you'll walk into the store one day on, the day these consoles launch, and you'll walk out with your game and you'll have something happy,
Yeah, I'm gonna probably if I don't end up catching anything at random, I'll probably try to give a few calls out and see if anything is in stock, where I can go outside and wait for a bit. But I'm not trying to do no 2-day waiting. I don't got time for that. So it's just be like I'll see it when I see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's in, then cool. But I know those email things haven't even been working. To get notified when the pre-orders are live. Like I don't see nothing.
Yeah,
So
me
I
neither.
don't even see any updates. But I'm hoping there'll be like some type of a weird influx in like maybe December or something like that. Like right before Christmas, there's just like an influx of systems that are available. So at least I can scoop one up before the end of the year. But it is what it is.
It just makes more people too, who weren't really interested in getting one, all of a sudden
Wanna
become
grab one.
interested in it, right?
Because it's like the there's a lot of buzz around it.
Right. So it's like now all of a sudden, you're creating this buzz around something. Wait a minute, should I be looking in to get one of these too?
Right.
And now you're creating it to be even more of a problem than it should have ever been to begin with.
Right, like you're kind of saying like, you know, your dad was contemplating just
Yeah.
getting one, just, you know, just cause he's not
Exactly.
really like a gamer like that, but it's like, oh, it'd be nice to have, and if I want to, I could sell it.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know
gonna
what I
get
mean?
one now for my brother, my sister, my brother-in-law. It's like, dude, come
Yeah.
on, man.
So I mean, it's like it's only 5 people, but if like 10 people are doing that for 5 people, you know,
Yeah,
then
dude,
you
it's
know, and if they got the
retarded.
access to be able to scoop
It's
it
a
up
total
somehow,
mess.
yeah. So yeah, but good luck to everybody who got a pre-order. Hopefully you guys still have that pre-order for 2020. If not, you know, hey, at least you got it locked in, right? You know,
Yeah,
you're not like us
the
that don't
silver
got it.
lining is like what Mark said. You know, you don't need it. Wait.
Yeah,
Like
you
you
do.
really don't. Just wait. Like it's not that big of a deal. Like that's the silver lining. Almost everything coming out this holiday
Is
season you can
available for the
play on
current
your
gens,
current gen
yeah.
system.
Well,
And it'll be
it's
just
probably
as
like
fun.
it's probably like a handful from like both systems that just aren't available on the current gen right now.
Yeah.
And you know, and then those you just have to wait for those.
There's
you know,
plenty
and
to
that'll be
play right
fine.
now. Like I don't need to play Demon
Yeah.
Souls yet, right? Because I'm gonna have Cyberpunk. I'm gonna have Valhalla. I'm gonna have Phoenix. Phoenix Rising looks dope.
Mhm.
Like there's some Far Cry 6 looks stinking good. Like there's gonna be some
Call
dope
of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Call of
These
Duty,
games
yeah.
look really fun. Like I'm gonna be busy.
That's
you
a
know?
lot of
Like,
games already
I
right
can
there.
wait on Demon Souls till March, right? I can wait until early next year or mid next year, or even summertime when there isn't a lot of games to play.
Miles
You know,
Morales,
then
too.
yeah, Miles Morales. That's when you go and you grab these new games because there isn't a lot to play during the summer.
Right.
So it's like that's the silver lining, you know. Like don't worry about it. The games are on your current system. You got the games. You got them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it could be a good time for you guys to upgrade your displays. You know, do you have a 4K monitor? Do you have a sick, 4K TV with all the bells and whistles, high refresh rate,
Mhm.
HDR? Because I think those are the good things to have in preparation. You know, if
Right.
you don't
Go
have,
scoop that on Cyber
And
Monday.
those you can get
yeah,
on Black Friday,
yeah.
right?
And if you don't have that already, like you need that before you get a PlayStation 5, or you're not gonna
True.
be able to fully appreciate the PlayStation 5.
Great point.
So get those things 1st,
Mhm.
and like you said, Black Friday, Cyber
Mhm.
Monday, you could probably scoop up a really affordable
Yeah, you
one.
could probably get like some of these games we're talking about for $40 or $50, and they're free upgrades to the PS5 version rather than spending the full out the gate
That's a good
price
investment,
on
for
the
sure.
PS5.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like it's fine, it's okay.
Yeah, I just I hope it's still the same, type of graphics and whatnot, that whatever data that they're giving you to download, from the PS4 version on the PS5, like I hope as long as it's the same.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was the only thing I was worried about, but I mean, at this point it kind of is what it is. I mean, it's gonna upgrade
exactly.
everything that you're looking at anyways. But yeah, so shout out to all our YouTube viewers. You guys putting comments in there or whatever. We see it, we like it. Thank you. All of our listeners, thank you for listening. If you got anything to add, drop it in the comments. Also, if you're not already, subscribe. Go and follow us on Twitter. And stay tuned if we come across any kind of deals or maybe pre-orders are lit for any places. We'll go ahead and post those on there on the Twitter. So, just, tap in, put your little post notifications on or whatever. And yeah, until next time, we'll catch you next week. Deuces.
Peace.
See you.
I love you, me.